You're listening to the TF Motorsports official podcast, all things monster trucks. Welcome to a new episode of the TF Motorsports official podcast. I'm Thomas Frasco, and cap cut situation, pretty damn weird. So now I'm doing editing through a different software. Hopefully this all works out well. And again, if some of my content has some odd editing, again, that's just me practicing and trying to get used to the new software. So just bear with me on that when we have new videos, especially with a new video coming out pretty soon within a few days. It was originally going to come out Sunday, but then, of course, CapCut got banned. It's going to be about the World Finals schedule change, but it's also going to go over and compare with the other big changes that Monster Jam did over the years. And the one that we have right here on the podcast is a regular person on the podcast, but also he's working up the ranks in the Monster Jam community. It's Arena Pod Productions, or Douglas, as he's back on the podcast. Welcome back.
Hello. I'm glad to be back on.
And yeah, so another week of Monster Jam in the books, and we had little bit of a live stream mishap, so we only got to see one of the arena tours, but thankfully that was Tacoma. And then we also had other locations, which was St. Louis and another Anaheim. So I don't usually do this, but where do you want us to start? Do you want to start with the recap, or you want to talk about anything else for the start of this podcast?
We'll start with the recap just to get that thing out of the way.
Okay, so with the recap, let's see. I think Baltimore, yes, Baltimore is posted on Monster Jam's website, but obviously this was the event that had no Wi-Fi, so they weren't able to stream it.
Sucks, but
Yeah,
anything that happened there, I actually didn't see anything.
but yeah, well, what can you do? Sometimes that happens, so can't really control those. Kristen Anderson actually got the timed racing win. Skills went to Blake Ranger in Monster Mutt Dalmatian. He also got the donut win. Then the freestyle win would go to MJ Solario, and he would also get the overall event championship. Moving on over to Saturday afternoon, it was Blake Ranger getting timed racing as well as skills. And then for some odd reason, Donuts is not posted. I think. Oh yeah, Donuts results are not even on the website. So I think they try. I guess they tried it out for Friday, and they said, you know what? I don't know about the place here. We should not do it. Um,
Yeah.
so anyway, Tony Oaks would win freestyle that night, and then the overall would go to Blake Ranger. Going to the evening show for Saturday, Blake would win timed racing, MJ would win skills, and then Blake would win freestyle and overall. Then going to the afternoon show for Sunday, Blake would win the racing, skills, and win overall, but freestyle would go to Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger. And bear with me, I forgot to pull up points. I got the results and everything of what's going on. Points. So currently for points on that tour, Blake Ranger leading by 29 points over Brandon Telechka, and Brandon's actually being very consistent with that truck, so that's why he's in second. Kristen actually slipped to third, MJ fourth, Tony Oaks fifth, Mark Hall sixth, Michaela seventh, and Kurt Kramer and Dale in eighth. All right, so then now I get to talk about the ones that we were able to see. We got Tacoma. And usually the Tacoma Dome is a pretty good spot for these events. And as we've seen, we had some pretty good highlights. I think that last show, Sunday evening, there was like a pretty good save for Cody, I think. He was on the sidewall, I think. Was that Sunday evening?
I think it was. I don't think I saw it, but I think it was on Sunday where he was like on the sidewall for like 2 seconds. Was it during skills? I can't remember.
I think it might have been for skills, but still, that was very impressive again for Cody. And again, he's been driving for a long time, so it's not really surprising. So Weston Anderson would win the racing victory on the Friday evening show. He would also win skills. The donut win would go to Tim Hall Jr. in Jurassic Attack. Then freestyle would be Brianna Mahan and Scooby Doo, and overall would be Weston Anderson. Moving on over to Saturday afternoon, it would actually in the racing competition would go to Devin Winfield in Velociraptor. Skills would go to Weston Anderson. Donuts, Devin would come back and win that. And then freestyle would be won by Ashley Sanford in Megalodon. Overall would go to Brianna Mahan in Scooby Doo. So pretty decent results for that show. Going over to Saturday evening now. Cody and Dragon would win the racing win. Weston would get skills. And then Devin would win donuts. Cody would get freestyle and the overall for that show. Moving over to the Sunday afternoon show, it would be Cody again getting the racing victory on that event. Weston dominating again in skills. He's just a skills machine. Brianna Mahan, Scooby-Doo, and Donuts. Freestyle would be Weston Anderson, but the overall would go to Cody. And then Cody would once again would win the racing competition in Dragon. Weston Anderson would get skills again. He would also get donuts, freestyle, but he would actually manage to come up a little short in the overall to Cody by 4 points, which I'm surprised, honestly. I'm trying to look back at why. Oh, because he didn't compete in racing. That's probably why. But Weston is still leading by a large margin, 68 points over Cody. At this point, just call it. Weston wins.
Weston wins everything.
Has anybody won a tour 4 times in a row yet? Or is Weston going to be the
I,
first?
Weston might be the first.
Yeah. 2026 stadiums, please. Either Gravedigger or Bog Hog or something. Um, anything. Cody Saucier and Dragon would get second. Brianna Mahan would get third. Devin Winfield is in fourth. Ashley Sanford fifth. Tim Hall Jr. sixth. Berto Givino in seventh. And then, believe it or not, Earthshaker was driven by Corey Rummel that time. So, again, I think Alex Barden returns in a couple months, I believe. I think that was disclosed
Yeah, he
at some
returns
point.
in a few months.
Yeah, so yeah, hopefully he has a speedy recovery. But so he's got quite a few names in Earthshaker now. And now we can finally start talking about the stadium stuff. Again, I'm trying to chug along with this. I want to try to sleep as much as I can before tomorrow's work and shit. Moving over to St. Louis, we had 2 shows and scoring. I think pretty much both shows we've had some interesting scorings.
Yeah.
But I also noticed a trend. For freestyle, the scores were right. Well, the winner was right for the first show, but then the second show, it was kind of 50-50. Like with Cynthia for Anaheim, which we will get to. I'm trying to think. I think she might have gotten it just because Tyler left time on the clock when he got shut down. But with the Sunday show, we will get to it, and oh yeah, it's pretty interesting. So first, let's go to Saturday evening. Tristan England would win the racing competition at JCB Digatron. Skills would go to Todd LeDuc in Megalodon. Freestyle, there were some pretty good runs. And Kayla Blood really going to town at Sparkle Smash. Was that the Saturday show where she did that somersault?
Yeah, that was Saturday.
Yeah, like she had a really good run, but then Todd LeDuc won, I guess. I'm surprised he took the lead, but What saved it was Bryce Kenny in Monster Mutt. He deserved the win with a 9.236. Got some really big air, backflip, nailed it, and a pretty wild finish. Great run there for Bryce. He got the win. Overall, would go to Todd LeDuc on his birthday, might I add, in Megalodon.
That was actually a pretty good storyline for the event,
Yeah.
having to win on his birthday.
That must be a really good gift for him. And then we go to the Sunday afternoon. After having truck issues in racing, Ryan Anderson would make a comeback and beat JCB Digatron in the racing competition for that night. Tristan would go and win skills in JCB. And then we get freestyle, and the fan judging went kind of interesting.
Kind of
Um,
wild.
so Colvinard, he laid down a good run, but you look at Bryce Kenny, he laid down a really good run again. Um, big air, big air here, backflip, and then just this like gigantic jump and a crazy crash at the end. Plus the body came off. He
Yeah.
he didn't
And
win, and he didn't win by a lot. So Black Pearl got 9.585. Monster Mutt got 9.152.
yeah, in my opinion, Monster Mush should have won. Black Pearl maybe second, but Monster Mush should have got it regardless.
And it's not like he got second. He got fifth in that competition.
Yeah, scoring was absolutely
Oh.
bad on Sunday.
Yeah, and we're gonna get to Anaheim later. And then the overall went to Tristan England in JCB Digatron. Going to the points for that tour, it is another tie for the lead for the second week in a row. Bryce Kenny and Tristan England are tied with 110 points. Todd LeDuc third, then Ryan Anderson, Adam Anderson. They're pretty far down. I'm surprised. Cole Vennard sixth, Zach Garner seventh, Mike Pagliaro eighth, Jamie Garner ninth, Caleb Blood 10th, Matt 11th, and Nick last.
I was surprised the Andersons are pretty far down because out of all people, Bryce Kenny are on top, which I never would have expected. And it might be too early to say, but I feel like this might be the first time the Andersons might not win the Stadium Series. But I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, we'll see. But then we get to Anaheim, California, which is not going to be the last time. They still got February. um, Going in, Tyler Menega continued his streak at the time, getting his racing win. Skills would go to El Toro Loco Zamando Castro. And then we get to freestyle. And how about Chris Kohler? Living up to the name Mayhem, laying down a good run, and did a crazy crash at the end. Deserved the win.
Definitely deserved. Best run of the night, not even a question.
And then the overall would go to Tyler Menega continuing on his points. And just to show how dominant he is, he got 34, and then second place in overall was Cannon Murphy and Classroom Crusher with 26. So, yeah. But, however, I believe for the first time all season, Tyler would end up not winning a single competition on Sunday. His streak would be broken. I think his truck got shut off in the final round, or something happened. I'm not sure, but how?
His truck was shut off.
Yeah, but he lost to Dalton Weiner in Jurassic Attack. I was going nuts.
The 14, 14, what is it called? Racing winner streak. I'll call it that.
I think it was like 16.
It 16 to 14th, regardless, that's long, and it being broken just like that, that had to have hurt.
Yeah. But yeah, so, but thankfully, with Tyler, he's a really good sportsman because he gave him a hug. So good sportsmanship from
That's what I
Tyler.
love about Monster Jam. Everyone is so supportive of each other.
Yeah, it's pretty much like one big family. Um,
Basically,
yeah. Then we get to skills and freestyle. This is where the controversy kind of leans. Let's start with skills. Um, skills, we had some pretty good runs, and then Barty comes out. He's doing a donut. You could already hear everything about to give out. Like the truck was going higher pitch, and he just kept on it, and the thing just explodes in flames. Barty gets out of the truck and shockingly takes the lead with a 9.457. Holds on to it and wins skills. So let me get this straight. All you gotta do is catch on fire to win?
probably. Regardless, it was still cool, but maybe not worthy of the lead, but it was so cool.
Like, obviously, it was cool and whatnot, but it's called a skills challenge. You need, like, you need to, like, get the best skills run, but that was just a truck blowing up.
Yeah. Again, maybe not the lead, but maybe top five at
Yeah.
the most.
Yeah, so Amando should have won that one. Then we get to freestyle, and this is another one that a lot of fans are split on. Trying to think. Honestly, I think Cynthia deserved the win in freestyle. Because I think Tyler left time on the clock when his truck got shut down. So yeah, I think Cynthia won.
I don't think I've seen Sunday's freestyle, uh,
But yeah, like
so I can't really comment.
yeah, so Tyler had really good momentum. He got a backflip in, but then he left time on the clock. And honestly, I thought he would have gotten second, but he actually got what, sixth?
Yeah, I got sixth,
Which,
maybe fifth, if I remember
yeah, that,
correctly.
sixth actually. Like, that was really, really underscored. Wow. Um, Also, the one who had the craziest run or craziest move, I think, was Jim Kohler. But obviously, he left time on the clock, but he got third. Even Amando actually thought that Jim would have gotten the win. Um, I think. Wait, I think in St. Louis, Cole also said something about one of the drivers, Bryce, I think.
I think it was. Don't remember that.
Yeah. So then, after Cynthia won, Dalton Weiner overall, hell yeah, getting in on the Sunday afternoon show. All right. What's the next thing you want to talk about? Because obviously we still have the predictions, and that's like later on. Is there anything you want to like openly talk about, or that goes around Monster Trucks or Monster Jam?
Um, Come to think of it, there's not much that I see going on besides Monster Jam. Maybe there's a couple things I'm forgetting, but I don't really see anything that's going on.
Hmm.
Anything that you want to talk about?
Well, trying to think. I mean, because we already got the schedule thing kind of already talked about, and that's gonna be in a new video pretty soon. Um, yeah, really, it's kind of quiet. Kind of
Really good.
a stark contrast to what we had last week, where there was multiple different headlines and stuff like that that I had to discuss. But going into this weekend's events, there really isn't not much to talk about. I do want to ask you this: from that schedule change from the World Finals, did you think that the backlash would be like to this extent? Like, do you think it's the biggest you've ever seen it for the community, or is it just another one of those instances?
It's perhaps the biggest backlash I've ever seen from the fans towards Monster Jam besides Manchester and also removing car crushing. To me, it was definitely deserved the hate that they got because in Thomas's video, which you might see soon, I just say that it's a horrible idea. It shouldn't go through, and they need to change it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, like when I saw the post and I made my video about it and only saw like 2 comments on Discord. I thought it was gonna be like another one of those things where it's like the world final schedule change or um the track changes or the rebranding or all this other stuff where it's like 50-50 split. You got like the 50% that's like, oh, this thing sucks, and then you got the other 50% who's like, oh, this could work in this way. But I think it's like 98% that they're saying they hate it, and then the other two is like only just families who just want to go see something, which I understand. But yeah, that's like insane though to see that number of amount of people saying the exact same thing, fix the formula. But then during the live stream, they pretty much openly confirmed through Ryan Lacoste that, which, oh, I forgot to say, Ryan Lacoste was on commentary for Anaheim. The
Good
B,
to see his return.
yeah, the BKT King himself. Bow down to Ryan Lacoste. if
I
I had a camera, you'd be seeing me bowing down to Ryan Lacoste. um,
forgot how much I liked that guy.
man, he's
He
talented.
made he made Anaheim more entertaining in my
Yeah,
book.
he's a talented guy. Um, but yeah, he said in a segment that yeah, World Finals is gonna have 2 racing nights and 2 freestyle nights. So that pretty much can confirm that they're not changing. They're gonna stick with the formula.
Yeah, that's a bad move. That's a bad move by Monster Jam.
Yeah, and again, obviously we're saying it's like a bad thing or a bad schedule, but in my opinion, for what's going on right now, yeah, it's a bad schedule, but I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't want to say it's the worst World Finals right now because again, we're still in January and it's in July, so um, it's the worst
I
schedule. But now we just play the waiting game.
I will give it a chance, but there are multiple factors that could like absolutely ruin it.
Yep,
Again, like the track changing.
and that of course I'll talk about in the video. And again, that'll be in a few days or so. Again, I gotta figure out new things with Vegas, the editing thing I got. Um,
You may or may not
yeah.
hear a familiar voice in there, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
um, so I think
I love this stuff.
yeah. So like the only thing that really had to be discussed was discussed. Um, I forgot to say Tyler Menega is leading by 26 points, by the way, on the East Tour.
Not really very
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
Like if a driver wins 2 competitions and Tyler does bad in them, they could potentially switch spots.
yeah. Bari caught up, Canham caught up, Dalton moved up to fourth. Armando actually slipped back to fifth. Colt Stevens is sitting in sixth. Cynthia moved up a little bit. She's seventh. Chris Kohler eighth. Jim Kohler ninth. Joe Foley 10th, surprisingly. Mike Christensen 11th, and Kevin Crocker last. Okay, I think we're gonna go into predictions now. Um, we got Newark Prudential Center for Arena Championship Series Central. They just took a week off last weekend. They're going to be back in Newark. I'm going to be going to the evening show on Saturday. So what I usually do with these predictions here, obviously we can't just go individual for the entire time. Let's just say you just pick one show, and then you just go through the competitions in the overall.
That's
So
easier.
yeah, so from seeing a couple weeks ago, going into this weekend, who do you think would win the the racing victory?
Um, I kind of want to hear your predictions first since you're going there.
Okay, so obviously this is tough. They're all talented. Um, all right, so I'll do the racing, skills, donuts, freestyle overall. Racing, I think it's gonna be Triton Robinson, Crazy Train. Again, he's got a few racing wins, and his truck is like built for racing. If that Like if the course is proper, he's gonna nail it. Skills, I'm gonna go with John Simmer Jr. in terminal velocity. He's very talented and he still has a lot of years ahead. Donuts, actually gonna go with Jamie Sullivan and Sparkle Smash. I think she'll be able to nail that. For freestyle, gonna go with Matt Cody and Gravedigger. And again, from seeing some of the freestyles that he's done in arenas, he's very talented. But the overall, I'm actually going to go with Fernando Martinez and El Toro Loco. I think he's going to be staying consistent.
It's a really hard decision, but I think um I think Matt Cody will like win racing. John Zimmer Jr.'s terminal velocity will win skills. Donuts, I don't really care for that, but I'll just take a guess that it's just one of the I think it will be Crazy Train. And freestyle, maybe Matt Cody.
And what about the overall?
Overall, Matt Cody.
All right.
Maybe Fernando can like maybe Fernando. Was it Fernando? I can't remember.
Yeah, Fernando Martinez.
Yeah, Fernando might be able to win freestyle. It's either him or Matt Cody. Either one of them can get freestyle and overall.
All right. So yeah, so the Central Tour is going to be exciting. I'm really pumped for that. And now let's shift gears to the West Tour, the Weston Anderson show. They're going to go to Sacramento, California. Um, and it's also again another 5 show weekend. Racing, I'm gonna go with Cody on this one in Dragon. He's usually a pretty good racer. Skills, Weston Anderson. Um, I think this is the tour that does sky wheelies. I think, right? Wasn't there like a certain tour that does sky wheelies and then everyone else does donuts, or does that just depend on like where they go?
I never really thought of that, but that would be a good idea. I think they do kind of switch it up for like Zonuts and Sky Wheelies each show.
All right, so I'm guessing it's probably gonna be sky wheelies. Well, if that's the case, then I'll go with Brianna Mahan and Scooby Doo. She's really, really good at sky wheelies. Freestyle, I'm actually going to go with Tim Hall Jr. in Jurassic Attack. And then overall, I'll go with Weston Anderson.
Racing, maybe Weston. Skills, maybe Cody. Donuts or Sky Wheelies, Weston. And freestyle, also Weston. He wins everything.
And then overall, let me guess, Weston, maybe? It's probably. All right. Let's see. We're gonna shift gears now to let's see. Is there another? Yep. Okay. So pretty much all the arena tours are going off again. Um, Moving forward, we got Washington D.C. for the East Tour, and again it is a that's actually a 4 show weekend. Racing for that one, I think it's going to be honestly, I'm gonna go with Mark Hall and Raminator. Let's do that. Skills is gonna be Blake Ranger, Donuts, Kristen Anderson, freestyle and overall Blake Ranger. Blake Ranger, um, I think is gonna make the World Finals again, and I think he's gonna have a much better World Finals if things all line up for him.
Yeah, racing, kind of hard to pick. Maybe MJ Solarino. Skills? I have no clue. I actually don't know. Maybe Tony Oaks or one of the Teleshkas. Uh, do they have donuts or sky wheelies?
Probably Donuts.
Um, maybe we'll go with MJ for that one. I'm really uncertain. Like, donuts is literally like a rolling dice. It could be anyone. Whoever gets the best traction is basically gonna win. Freestyle, Tony Oaks. And overall, maybe Tony Hawk's.
All right, now we're gonna shift gears to the main events. We got the Stadium Series. We got the West Series. They're gonna go to Miami, Florida for two shows. Um, Seeing how racing is, gonna go with Ryan Anderson again. He didn't lose his streak on Saturday. His truck just quit on him, but the race did not happen, so he still has a streak technically. So I am gonna go with Ryan Anderson for racing. Skills, probably gonna go with let's go with Tristan England. Again, he's very, very good with that. Especially with like some of the things are like a little bit more arena like in that stadium setup. So he like really uses it to his advantage. And then for freestyle, gonna have to go and do a different pick. I think for freestyle, let's go Zach Garner. Let's go Zach Garner for Miami. Obviously, he's had a little bit of bad luck from these last few weeks, but I think all that's going to rub off, and I think he's going to get a killer run, and hopefully the fan judges reward him for that. And then overall, I'm going to go with let's go with Adam Anderson and Gravedigger.
Racing, I do agree Ryan Anderson has not like lost in a little bit. Didn't you say like a 13 winless streak? I heard
I think it's I think it
something
I
around there.
yeah I think it's 13 right now. Pretty much where West
13, it has to be Ryan.
yeah, pretty much where Tyler was before going into Anaheim.
Skills, I would say Zach Garner for that one. He's really good at balancing his truck, and I feel like he might be able to snag a win in skills. And freestyle, that has to be Ryan Anderson.
And then how about the overall?
Um, it can be either one of them, either Adam or Ryan Anderson.
Split. All right, and then we have our last stadium series. The East Series is going to San Antonio, Texas, and I believe this is the one you're going to be going to.
Yep, both shows.
Hell yeah! So since
I'm
you're
pretty
going,
pumped as well.
since you're going to this one, I'm going to have you do the predictions first.
All right, let me pull up the lineup because I forget easily. But racing, Tyler, he's really good. And he had, like you said, the long streak that was eventually broken, but I feel like he can get that back on track. Skills, I feel like that might be Camden. He's really good at skills at balancing his truck, just like Zach Garner. Freestyle, this is just a wish. I hope Chris Kohler wins. I want to see him tear that truck up.
Mm-hmm. All right, now I'll get my predictions in for San Antonio. Racing, I'm gonna go with Bari. Bari was giving Tyler a run for his money before his streak got snapped. Bari was actually right on him, so I think he's got a shot to get a racing win, and I think San Antonio is the place he's gonna do it. Skills, I'm actually gonna go with Cannon Murphy, Classroom Crusher. Obviously, he's been trying to work out the bugs in this new truck, but I think he'll get this down to a T, and he'll be able to get a skills win in that truck. Freestyle, after a little bit of struggles from the last few weekends, I think Tyler's going to come out and do some Ragged Edge, Gravedigger freestyle action. I think he'll get it in Texas. And overall, he's also going to get the overall event championship. I think Tyler will get it.
Yeah, I forgot to mention overall that might be Tyler.
Mm.
That might be Tyler. I almost said Tyler Anderson. I was like, what the hell am I talking
Whoa. In some alternate reality, we got Tyler Anderson. Oh my god.
about? I nearly said that accidentally.
Oh god.
Caught myself at the last second.
Well, sometimes you just gotta let it out and have people edit for you, and then you just got some stuff in the memory books.
I would have loved to kept that in if I said that.
um, now we just got our predictions in. Any other things going on, or you just want to wrap it up right here?
I think we'll wrap it up. I don't think there's much going on. Like you said, it's basically silent besides Monster Jam.
Yeah. All right. So, final thoughts going into this weekend.
I'm hoping your show is good and mine is better. I'm joking.
um. So pretty much for this week, this weekend, I'm excited for Newark, and I'm also excited for what the all the tours have in store for their stops. Um, there's going to be a slight challenge this time. I'm going to have to kind of do what I did for Anaheim for the Saturday show, which is go the next day and watch it over. Because again, for Anaheim, it was like 9 o'clock, and my body was just shot because I only like slept for like 3 hours that day. So I'm like, screw this, I'm not staying up. So for Saturday, I gotta watch, for the Saturday shows going into Sunday, I gotta watch both stadium tours and highlights from arenas before I can actually get to the Sunday stadium shows. So that's gonna be something. Um,
Yeah, I do have to rewatch Miami,
yeah,
both shows.
yeah, that'll be pretty interesting. So Douglas, again, thanks for being back on the podcast, and hope to see you in the next several episodes to come.
Thank you. I enjoyed being on here.
And yep, and we'll see what happens next week. We got a lot of competition going on. Central Tour's back. All tours are up. And the West Tour is tied for first. There's a lot of stuff going on, and we're super excited to cover it next week. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the podcast, and we'll see you next week here on TF Motorsports.
See ya.